Combination boilers are now the preferred choice of the majority of householders and house builders. Alpha Heating Innovation has a great deal of experience in manufacturing combination boilers as well as system boilers and conventional boilers. But they will readily admit that combination boilers aren't suitable for all properties. If you've got a home where you want simultaneous use, you've got several people using facilities at the same time, then stored hot water still remains the natural choice. In fact, the NHBC says that if you want to put a combination boiler in a home where you've got more than one bathroom, the manufacturer has to prove that the flow rates are adequate. But what are adequate flow rates? For one person, adequate flow rate might not be for another. But how does 18 litres a minute sound? Alpha has come up with a system which will not only satisfy NHBC requirements, but will often outperform unvented cylinders and other stored water options. Alpha FlowSmart uses technology which will already be familiar to you as an installer, but it uses it in a slightly different way. But like all good ideas, it's simple. So let's have a look at how it works. In this unique system from Alpha, there are three distinctive and separate components. The Alpha FlowSmart thermal store works in conjunction with the Alpha CD combination boiler. The addition of an Alpha Flue heat recovery unit increases the efficiency even further. The mains water is fed into the gas saver where it passes through a stainless steel heat exchanger coil. This is immersed in a reservoir of condensate which is warmed every time the boiler is run, whether it be for heating or for hot water only. The flue gases pass through the middle of the Alpha gas saver. The warmed water then passes through the FlowSmart thermal store where it picks up even more heat. When the thermal store is at its hottest, the mains water leaves the FlowSmart at a much higher temperature than is required. So it is mixed with incoming cold water from the mains through a blending valve. The water enters the Alpha CD combination boiler at an optimum 30 degrees, leaving the combination boiler to lift the temperature to give us a flow rate comparable or better than most stored hot water systems. The combination of products from Alpha provides a hot water solution that more than satisfies NHBC requirements for homes with 2 bathrooms. Alpha supply a template for the boiler, and there's also a template with a gas saver. Now, by joining these two together with a bit of sticky tape, we can combine the two fixings, and we know that we've got sufficient clearance at the top. There's also a choice of fixing holes down the side, and that's especially useful when you're doing replacement jobs where some of the fixing holes have been taken up. Because we're using the Premier Pack fixing jig, we want to use these side fixings here, and the Premier Pack, as you'll see, will give us a few advantages in this installation. Now, using the Premier Pack jig not only gives us a very secure fixing to the wall with all these alternative fixing points, but it also gives us the opportunity to run the pipework up the back of the boiler, which is very neat. And you notice that the clips are already fitted here, which means that the pipework finishes up clip distance from the wall. Now, if you want to change the position of these clips, you can move this part of the jig up and down on these fixing holes, but you have to do that before you fix this jig to the wall. So decide where you want to put them, adjust that jig, and then fix it to the wall. But also, by fitting the Premier Pack jig, Alpha will give you an extra 2 years warranty. Now, you might wonder why you get 2 years warranty just for fitting a jig. And the reason is that onto every Premier Pack jig is fitted a cyclone. It spins the water around from the system and it deposits all the debris into the bottom there, and then once a year you can just take that out and remove the debris from the system. And because the system is running cleaner, it's not going into the heat exchanger, and that means that Alpha will extend the warranty on your boiler for a further 2 years, and in this case that means a 5-year warranty. Another really useful feature of the Premier Pack jig is this earth continuity plate, which allows you to do your earth continuity equipotential bonding all in one go, simply by putting the thing, provided of course that your pipework suits that installation. Another thing worth mentioning is that you get factory fitted split tails, which allows you to pipe up and down very easily. Now we need a few fittings to pipe up the boiler, and those fittings are actually included in with the boiler pack rather than in with the Premier Pack jig. But the golden rule with any installation, as you probably know, is never ever throw the packaging away until you finish the job, because you can bet your life the bit you're looking for is tucked in one of those boxes you've just put on the skip. Now before we hang the boiler on the jig, it just gives us a little opportunity to look at what's going on the underside here. And this will all be covered with a plastic cover when the job's done, so you won't see it. So what we've got here is these two connections which we've got to remove and discard because they're actually on the Premier jig, so we don't need those. The other ones we've got to actually fit to the jig itself, and then the boiler mates up to that. You'll also notice the built-in filling loop here, that's already there. And another really good feature of the Alpha CDC boilers that comes factory fitted is this seasonality valve. And what that does is adjust the incoming flow rate according to the mains temperature. So in the winter, when the cold mains is coming in a lot colder, it'll slow it down so that you maintain the same outlet temperature at the taps, regardless of the temperature of the incoming mains. And one other thing that I forgot to mention is that you get 2 meters of flying lead. So this comes pre-plumbed and pre-wired, which makes the installer's job a whole lot easier. This is the expansion vessel for the FlowSmart. Now, of course, there's already an expansion vessel in the boiler itself, but because the FlowSmart is giving the system extra capacity, if you like, then they put an extra expansion vessel in. Now, this can go anywhere on the return in the usual way, but we've got a very handy space under the kitchen units here in the kick space. So I'm just going to pop it in there. It's seated into the return, and that will sit under that kick space. If we ever need to get at it, all we're going to do is pull the washing machine out, and there it is.